we're going to do lesson 2.3. But instead of doing page 99, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to skip 100, and then we're going to go straight to 2 on page 101. And I'm going to walk you through how to do 2, 3, and 4, and then I'll have you do 5, 6, and 7, and 8. And then you can give me the answers through like Google Classroom, or you can email me to see if I know that you're understanding this. Instead of doing this blocks, I feel like it's going to be really confusing without being in person, so I'm just going to try to teach it to you. The 2 digits divided by, or 3 or 4 digits, whatever the number is, divided by a 2-digit number. I'm just going to teach you how to do that, and then with a lot of repetition, and I'll just keep showing you, and maybe you'll understand it. I feel like this stuff is a little confusing. I might send you a video on how to do it, but I won't expect you to do any answers or anything. I think this is a little tricky, but I think we got to keep moving on in order to get you ready for 6th and 7th grade. All right, so this is number 2, 168 divided by 12. All right, so how we do that is very similar to if we had a single digit, but instead we have a 2-digit number. So this is where you're gonna have to use your multiplication chart and just like have to do a lot of side work to help you. All right, so 12 goes into 1. You can't do it because 1 is smaller. So we're gonna move on to the next one. So 12 goes into 16 1 times. Why am I going to put the 1 over the 6? Because we used both numbers and we didn't just use the one number. We used both the 1 and the 6. I'm putting the 1 right above it. 1 times 12 is 12. That was a funky line. 16 minus 12 is 4. I'm going to bring down the 8 because we knew that 12 can't go into 4, so I'm going to bring it down. 12 goes into 48. How many times? Use your multiplication chart, and we know that it goes in 4 times. So 4 times 12 is 48. Subtract it and we get 0. So we know that it's a remainder of 0 because there's no more to bring down. With division, we are going to double check. All right, how we do that is we take the answer that we just got without the remainder. We got 14. We're going to multiply it by this number in front of the bracket, or the dividing sign, and we are going to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. 2 times 1 is 2. Make sure you have that 0 as a place value. Sometimes I put a smiley face to know that it's that. 2 times 1 is, no, sorry. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 1 is 1. And now we add. You guys are good at this, so you'll understand this part. So 8 plus 0 is 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. 1 plus 0 is 1. 168, is that the same as this big number under the bracket? Yes. Since the remainder is 0, we don't add anything because the remainder is 0. So the answer is the same. So we know we did the division right. All right, so it's a little tricky, but let's do a few more. Let's do number 3. So it's 154 divided by 14. All right, so 14 goes into 1. You can't do because it's smaller, so we're going to move on to the next. 14 goes into 15. How many times? Exactly, or 1 time. So 1 times 14 is 14. Subtract. 5 minus 4 is 1. 1 minus 1 is 0. So now we have 1. We are going to bring down the 4 because we can't do 14 goes into 1. We can't do that. So we're going to bring down this 4. Bring it down. Now we have 14. How many times does 14 go into 14? We know that it goes in exactly 1 time. So 1 times 14 is 14. Subtract it and we get 0. So again, the remainder is 0 because there's no more to bring down. All right, so we have an answer of 11 times, or 154 divided by 14 is 11. Let's check that using multiplication to see if my math is right. By doing 11 on the top times 14. 1 times 4 is 4. 4 times 1 is 4. Bring the 0 to make a place value. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. 4, and then we're going to add. 4 plus 0 is 4. 4 plus 1 is 5. And 1 plus 0 is 1. Are these answers the same? 154, 154, 14, 11 with the remainder of 0. So the answer, 154 divided by 14 is 11, and we checked it by using multiplication. All right, let's do one more. 187 divided by 11. All right, so 11 goes into 1, you can't do it, so we're going to go into the 18. 11 goes into 18 one time. 1 times 11 is 11. Subtract it. 8 minus 1 is 7. 1 minus 1 is 0. All right, so 11 can't go into 7 because it's smaller, so we're going to bring down the 7. How many times does 11 go into 77? It goes in 7 times. 7 times 11 is 77. Subtract it, and we get 0. No more to bring down, so the remainder is 0. All right, so 187 divided by 11 is 17. Let's check it by taking the 17, multiply it by 11. 7 times 1 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. Bring that 0 as a place value because we're going in the tens place. 1 times 7 is 7. 1 times 1 is 1. Now we're going to add. 7 plus 0 is 7. 1 plus 7 is 8. 1 plus 0 is 1. Are these numbers the same? 187, 187, and then we got these are the same. So we know that 187 divided by 11 is 17 with a remainder of 0. We know it because we double checked it using multiplication. Alright, so how about you do 5, 6, 7, and 8? Once you do those 4, email me with the answers you got to see if you're right and to see if I have to help you even more, and I'll send more videos or something. If you get those right, then we'll move on and we'll do 3, 4, and then we might do some, and 3 and 4 at least. Alright? Alright, so I'm going to make another video for lesson 2.4. If you have any questions, please email me. Alright?